Hi everyone, just a quick thing before you see part 2 of the Men's Mental Health Raw Truth, and that's going to be me, that's going to be my story. I can't honestly say that I should be allowed to film this unless I'm going to put myself on camera and tell you about my mental health problems, which I'm going to do. But before I do that, and before you see this, my story, which is coming up now in a minute, I just want to say a massive thank you for the support and all the great comments that we had. I uploaded part 1, which was Lee's story, yesterday to YouTube, and the feedback on it has been absolutely brilliant. It's been absolutely fantastic. Please support us, please share it with your friends and share it with everybody else. So anybody you know, just please watch it and ask them to watch it. And maybe, well, not maybe, I really believe that if there's enough people share it and watch it, we maybe can help somebody. If we help that, it helps one person basically. If that helps one person from not doing anything stupid, or helps them to find somebody to talk to, then it's got to be worth it, hasn't it? Yeah. So again, thank you so much. I just wanted to do this quick intro. Thank you so much. And now you're going to see my story. Right. Where to start? See, when I did Lee's, I have a habit of looking at the monitor, so you see my keep going off, so excuse me. It's still going to be, I'm still not going to cut it. So, you know, a lot of people say you should cut this out and cut that out, but I think we'll keep it in there. When I did Lee's story, I wasn't sure what to expect. When I started this journey 2 years ago to try and do a documentary sort of thing on men's mental health, it was hard work because men don't want to open up. And I can understand why, because I'm feeling very vulnerable at the minute. I'm in front of a camera, I know where this is going to go. I know that if I can get it edited tonight or in the next few days, then obviously I'm going to share it on YouTube and on Facebook. And when you let yourself bare, if you will, it's, oh God, it's a hard thing to do, and it's because you're wondering of all the flack you're going to get for it. But the reason we're doing this is not because, for me, it's to see and get men to come out and talk to each other and talk to somebody. I got a nice comment on Lee's thing yesterday. Louise, thank you very much. I can understand why. She said that you know, she'd been looked at all the way through, and she was crying, and the reason she was crying, she lost an amazing fella to suicide, a friend of ours, Gareth, and he was such an amazing fella, such an amazing bloke, but he didn't open up to anybody. So this is the whole point. This is to stop things like that. Well, it says stop. You're never going to stop that, because you're always going to get somebody who's not going to open up. But let's try to get people to open up, you know, and get rid of this stigma. My story. See, this is what I know. This is what I used for Lee. This was the bullet points, if you will. So I'm going to go off this, if you don't mind. To be honest with you, I've not read it since did the recording with Lee, did the editing, and I've just found, in fact I didn't find it, Amelia found it, the little things we were putting down. So let's go with this. So I hope you don't mind me doing it. This the bullet points to keep me trying answer the questions that I asked other people, and I'll be asking somebody else after myself. So right, the first question. Right. Tell us a little bit about you. Okay, my name's Neil McKinney. I am 57. I feel a lot older at the minute, and I'm the guy who decided to put this together, put this documentary together in these little half-hour things, slots. I was going to do a 2-hour thing, but it's too much, so I decided to break it up. I was born in Scotland. I had a shit childhood, I'll be perfectly honest with you. My stepdad was a bastard, and my mum was a lovely lady who I lost last year, bless her, to cancer. Not a good life, not a good life, a bit of a rough life, but that makes the man, doesn't it? Makes the person, makes the character. So literally, between me and my sister, we brought my two younger brothers up. Didn't really have a proper childhood as such, and my stepdad, who I'm not going to mention, was an abuser. Excuse me. He physically abused me and my sister, and then sexually abused my sister. And we used to get beat up for the slightest thing. He worked at Blythe's excuse me. He worked at Blythe's chemical place in Church. I don't know if you know it. And so we had a rough childhood. We lived in Churchkirk. I was born in Scotland. We come down here, unfortunately, because my real dad, same name as me, he's passed now as well, bless him. Neil McKinney, senior. My dad went to, well, being honest, I've got to be honest, my dad went to Billinghy prison. He was sent there for accessory to murder. Yeah, something nobody knows. Now there you go, like I said, got to be honest and raw. So this is where probably a lot of things in my mental health things stem from. And so we had to move out of Glasgow because of the person he murdered. And so we moved down to England. And that's where my mum met my stepfather Eddie. So yeah, growing up we did some of the crazy kid things, like jumping off, like I don't know if it's normal, jumping off the library roof at Churchkirk onto mattresses, silly things, you know what I mean? How we didn't kill ourselves, I don't know. But yeah, so fast forward a few years, got married to a really nice person, got 2 beautiful daughters. Didn't work out, and so separated from them. And I worked on the railway for 16 years, and on the railway I loved the job, absolutely loved the job, and I had to give it up because of mental health issues and personal problems at home. I have a young lad, I say young lad now, he's bigger than me and he's just gone 14, Alexander, love him to bits, he's ace. He's a pain in the arse. But he has his issues, and when he was younger and went to school, I was getting phone calls. I might be on my way to London. I weren't driving the trains, by the way, we were maintaining the trains. Might have been on the way to London or on my way to Glasgow, and I get a phone call saying that I had to come get him from school. Well, you know what I mean, how can you do that? So I was constantly on edge with him and with his issues now, so it's a catalyst of things that happen in life that I suppose, if not dealt with, properly, or if not dealt with at all, bring you to a place where you either can deal with it, or you go below that line where you can't, and you end up taking your life or attempting to take your life. So yeah, it's not been an easy road. People have had a lot worse than I have, but we all deal with things differently. So, you know, so that's me in a nutshell, really. I'm a bit of a Looney Tune, you know, and I am actually. I'm a lot of a Looney Tune, and Amelia would probably tell you I am. And that's just me. It's the men's mental health and mental health in a whole. I am going to rabbit on, so I hope you don't mind. It's a massive issue, isn't it? It's a big issue. For me it is. I've been on all sorts of medication. I'm on some medication at the minute. I'm not having a good week. Amelia will tell you that. Not been a good week at all. Alexander has his issues with one thing and another, and so it's struggling with him and dealing with Alex at the minute as well, with Xander at the minute. So a little bit of background and what's going on at the minute. I'm looking down at the notes here, and I'm just trying to think. Well, let's have a look. What did I ask you? What else have I asked Lee? How long would you say? How long have you been suffering with it? Wow, let's have a look. Probably been suffering with mental health and with depression and anxiety. 2001, so 22 years. Long time, innit? But I'm here still. So 22 years. And that's it's crazy if you're flipping out 22 years. Well, anyway, I think that one of the things started. Had some other stuff going on in my background and all that sort of thing. And for me, I think I had my first breakdown is when my marriage broke up to Abigail. Just couldn't handle it. One thing and another, I ended up having a mental breakdown. That's how it goes, isn't it? So I've been struggling for quite a while with it. And God. It's hard for me to come and talk about it. It's hard to, but that's why I'm here, I suppose. It's hard for me to talk about it. I miss my girls terribly. I don't really see them much. We were estranged, if you will. Every now and then I get a thing from my eldest daughter, Holly. She sends me a happy birthday or a Christmas wish thing on Facebook or what have you. Just, you know, PMs or what have you. But yeah. So yeah, I've been suffering for a little while and still am. But I'm a fighter, and that's what I think I want. A message I want to get across to anyone, that anybody who's going through anything at the minute. I'm a fighter. Be a fighter. Fight this. You can do this. You can speak to somebody. Yeah. I got into trouble nearly 2 years ago defending my son. Did it the wrong way. Ended up getting arrested. I was on probation for over 12 months, still on licence till July. And that, I think, again, was down to everything getting on top of me with my mental health and everything else. And with work, I've had to give that up. I had to give the job up. Safety critical on the railways. A lot of people don't know. And if you can't be deemed to be safe in your own environment, then you're not going to be able to do the job. We were talking to Lee. I've got a lot of respect for Lee because I didn't realise. Sorry, I'm just gabbing on a bit here. I've a lot of respect for you, Lee. Love you to bits, mate. You know that. It's a hard thing to sit in front of this camera. I did another cut of this a few months ago when I first did Lee's. And it took me about 3 glasses of wine before I sit down in front of the camera and talk. and there's no wine in me today, and I'm finding it hard. Bad days. So I'm just looking at my notes down here. How do you deal with your bad days? Sometimes I don't. This week I've spent most of my time in bed. Because I've not been able to deal with things properly at the minute. So I'm thinking, you know, I'm just trying to go to sleep and hope it'll go away, but it doesn't, does it? So you have to get up and deal with things. Hence, I'm doing the filming now because I'm at quite in a very vulnerable place. But this is what you need to see and hear. You need to see somebody who's in a place talking about mental health, who's not in a good place as well. Not fucking easy. Typical bad day for me. Well, this is one of them. I won't get up. Won't brush my teeth. Won't have a wash. Don't eat. I've not ate proper for about 6 days, I think, 7 days. But that's not down to, excuse me, that's not down to me being a knob, it's down to my appetite. I just can't eat at the minute. So yes, I'm in a bad place, and please don't be please don't be feeling sorry for me in the respect that, oh bless him, is this, that. No, it's one of them things. It's part and parcel of mental health, dealing with mental health for me. It's one of the things that you don't think about. You don't think about the easy things, the simple things that you should be doing. They're not even part of you up here. They don't even come into play in that. And excuse me a minute. To come out and tell you people on this is what's going on at the minute for me anyway, while I'm doing this filming as well and filming a couple of other people. I suppose it's a big step, because I'm not sure where it'd be. I think I'm not sure where I'd be if I weren't busy doing this. I will get out of it. I will come out of it. I normally do. But at the minute, I'm just in a bad place. A bad place at the minute. So it is what it is. So I will deal with it. Excuse me. I will deal with it. I'll get there with it, and I won't be doing any flits, if you know what I mean. If people, a couple of years ago, I had a really bad time. Ended up going up to Scotland with no intentions of coming back, and I met an amazing lady up there. And 2 or 3 days later, I think it were, I can't remember. 2 or 3 days later, she said to me, and I came back down and then started talking to people again, but to try and help. Went up to Scotland to end my life basically, and really nice woman, bloody hell. And she'd just come over. I was in Argyle Street in Glasgow, if you know where that is, and they were feeding the homeless people with no money, with no clothes. They had like these massive stalls set up with food on it, and other things with clothes, and massive line all around the corner so they could get something to eat, something fresh to wear. Didn't charge a damn penny. It was all donated. I think it was called the Glasgow Project, the Scotland Project, something like that. Met this lady up here second night, and come over to me and just talking away with her, and I think she must have picked up on it. She must have known. And she said, if you're going to do what I think you're going to do you not think it'd be nicer on your family if you went back home and did it? It's just because that way that you'd be closer to them, they'd be closer to you, and they wouldn't have to do all the agony and the thing of coming up to Scotland to try and deal with everything. Yeah, wise words, good words. I came home, had time to think on the train, and moved on from it. So yeah, typical bad day. It's a typical bad day. Typical bad day is that, isn't it? It's, you know, not doing anything, not washing, not changing. Yeah, you know, that's the reality of mental health. That's the reality of not being able to cope with just a simple day, waking up in the morning wishing you hadn't. Some people do that, I've been there with that. And that's why it is important, so fucking important, for people to come forward and talk to people. Me there tonight, I know I can, you know, I'll probably text a friend of mine, just tell him I'm having a bit of a shitty week, trying to get out of it this week. I've not been able to rise out of it at the minute, but that doesn't mean to say I'm going to do anything daft, so don't worry about that. I've got too much chaos to cause yet before my lights go out, that's for sure. Lastly, keep looking down. I'm just looking at these questions here. There were bullet points that are usefully. It said, "What impact has my mental life? What impact has it had on your quality of life?" Well, I think I've just answered that one, really, haven't I? It bollocks your relationship up as well. How Amelia puts up with me, I haven't got a frigging clue, to be honest with you, because I can run hot and cold when I'm like this. And in the past, it's ballsed it up. It's balls a few things up. I think with the life in general, it's not a good quality of life. I mean, when you know what I mean, when you can't really plan anything. That's what I'm looking for. I am struggling to answer them. I'm struggling to stay on camera with it at the minute, to be honest with you. But I will go through with this if it fucking kills me. Sorry. It's not a good quality of life at the minute, especially when you're in a really dark places. It's waking up and crying because you woke up, wishing you hadn't, even though you've got family and friends around you who you should be able to turn to, and we don't, do we? I can talk to Amelia later on, but she knows I'm not in a good place at the minute. But then, what can you do to help somebody who can't help themselves? Question off, isn't it? You can't help yourself because, for whatever reason, how can anybody else help you? Talking's a start. Have a brew, have a chat, a text. Even if you don't want to talk, text somebody. Why don't you text someone? Text somebody, you know, just tell me you're having a shit day or a shit week or whatever. Text them that way. If you don't want to talk, text is a start. It's a start, isn't it? 90% of the way there is communication. Once the communication starts, then maybe you can go for texts, and somebody may say to you, "Let's go and have a brew and a chat. Come to my house, have a brew and a chat." And that sometimes is what's needing the sigh of relief. So maybe, you know, and change things around and change your quality of life. The quality of life, it is pretty crap at the minute, but like I said, I'll get there. You know, I will get there. I said there's a couple of questions there that I've answered with what I've been talking about there, but have I ever talked to anybody? Yep, I have a brilliant place. The Mount, people at the Mount come out. Talk to them. I've talked to a few mates regarding stuff, friends. My nephew's good listener, good lad. Sometimes it's good to get things off your chest, but then sometimes I find that when you're by yourself and you're alone in your bedroom at night, or if you're with somebody, if you've got a partner or something with you, I suppose it's nice to have them there. Not necessarily that you'll talk to them, but it's nice to have that person there. For the people who are by themselves going through all this, my heart goes out to you, because I was in a place where when I wasn't with Amelia, dealing with stuff, having to deal with stuff by yourself, it's freaking hard, people. It's really hard. Yeah, I am looking down. There's a lot of pauses in this. I don't apologise for it. I do apologise that for the people that are maybe looking at this and thinking, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying at the minute. Hard, innit? I want to say something to you, but I don't know what to say. I'm on camera doing this, and I vowed not to cut it, so you're going to get minutes of absolute what the is he knobbing on about, and you might get little bits of things in there. So yeah, I can thingy to that. What's the word? Associate with that. I know what you mean. Why do I think men don't talk about the mental health problems? Where do you start with that one? I think personally we don't speak to other people or us friends about it, or open up to people regarding our mental health problems. Is this because of the way we were brought up? And I am not slating anybody's parents or anything like that. It's the society we were brought up in. Going back to years and years ago, you're the alpha male, if you want to call it that. You're the head honcho, you're the head of the family, you're the breadwinner, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to go back to, is then you had to be seen to be emotionally secure. You weren't allowed to show any sort of weaknesses, and it's not a weakness. That pisses me off so much, by the way. It's not a weakness. You're not weak. Yeah, for somebody to be there and cry in front of somebody else, a bloke especially, and open up, you must have balls that big, I'm telling you. It takes a lot of bollocks to do that. You're not weak. We've always been told I'm like I said, when I was younger, yeah, you're the man of the house. That's the thing. You're the man of the family. You're the man of the house. And the biggest one I hate, guys, is man up. What a crock of shit that is. Man up. Why aren't we allowed to show our feelings? This is what over the years has happened. We've had to suppress it because we've been told we have to suppress it. This is why men do not talk to each other. And I think it's also, with a lot of blokes, it's a pride. We are so full of pride sometimes that no, I can't let them see that I'm struggling. I'm such and such, I'm this, that and the other. Bullshit. If you're struggling, you're struggling. Yeah, if you're proper mates, yeah, the proper mates are going to support you in it. Some friends, some people I know, oh, look at you, big wuss, yeah, stop crying, oh, look at you, what have you, yeah. I've seen it, had it done. Right? It takes a lot of guts to come out, and like my mate Lee said, to come out and admit you're broken, or you're hurting, but come out and say it. You know what I mean? Yes, we are fellas, and guys, you don't get rid of this bravado shit. Yeah, if you're struggling for crying out loud. Yeah, Don't be a statistic. I'm going to give you some statistics, actually. I'm going to go straight off that for a minute. 75%, 75%, this is, you can look it up, 75% of suicides are male. That's straight out. You can look at it, you can find that online, it'll show, you can, if you don't believe me. 75% are male. The highest category for male suicide is between, I think it's 28 and 55. That's the highest age group, okay? That age group, that's where the highest things of suicide is. And then when it gets later on, I think it's 75 to 90 in the older age bracket. 75% suicides are male. And you know, the sad thing is as well, males will do it a certain way, yeah, to virtually guarantee. It doesn't always work, I'm not saying it does, yeah. Males will commit suicide a certain way that it works, right? That it works. Why is that? Because of the stigma of them trying to take their life in the first place. They're gonna get, well, they think they're gonna get, and probably will of some people. That's a shame. That's sad. That's a sad fact. 75%. Horrible, horrible fact, that. Just because we can't talk. I find that shocking. I find it absolutely sad. Talk to somebody, yeah? Get in contact with me via email if you want, or via Facebook, YouTube. We've got a production company which we've been setting up. We've not done a lot with it because this everything that's going on. It's called Halfwit Productions UK, and if you want to drop a line there or just whatever on there, you can find us on there, Facebook and YouTube. Go through that way. But if you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you. Anybody who knows me, yeah, I'll talk to you. I'll have a brew with you. I'll have a game of pool with you if you want to have a chat. Get in contact, guys. Speak to each other. Yeah, speak to each other. I keep thinking about my mate, wishing that he just got in contact to speak to me. He used to play my son, excuse me. Guys used to play my son for a fiver in the pop club. We used to go to the pop club all the time. And a brilliant pool player, absolutely brilliant pool player. And he'd deliberately lose the game and give my son a fiver. He was a good man. He was a good man, and a sad loss to everybody. Really, really bad loss to everybody. I wish that he'd just spoke to somebody. I wish that he'd just, you know, said something to somebody rather than struggle with his demons. Now the question I had here, sorry, excuse me 1 minute. The question I had here is, have I ever thought about committing suicide? Yes, I have. I still get them thoughts. I did try when I was younger, self-harmed, because I self-harmed because I was bringing two kids up, two brothers up, and My sister, bless her, she was doing the same, but then she got married to our David. You know, their own family to look after and look out for, obviously. And too many drinks one night, terrible, innit? You know what I mean? But that's the reality of it, guys. The too many drinks one night. I was about 16, 17 at the time. And me and my mate Martin were in at Kirk Road. Mixed everything together in a milk bottle. Oh God, what a concoction. My stepdad had a drinks cabinet, and he locked the drinks cabinet like everything else he used to lock up in the house. And we broke into it and put everything in a milk bottle, shook it all up and drank it. Oh, got sick as a dog after, I tell you that, guys. I was sick as a dog. But I just got so melancholy over it. Alcohol's not a helper, trust me on that one as well, fellas. It's not. It doesn't help. It might null the pain for a little bit, but you know, the problems are still there. Yeah, so we drank this concoction and a bit melancholy, just thinking about, I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. Sat there just doing that. Didn't do any harm in the respect. I had some cuts and stuff, stupid cuts and stuff on my arms that I had to deal with. But that was an attempt of, I don't know, because you'd really attempted suicide. I think I don't know what to call it. I don't know if it's an attempt or not. So, but have I thought about it? Yes, I have. That's why I went to Scotland. To me, it was going home. I do get the thoughts of suicidal thoughts, but a lot of people do. Do I act on them? Nope. Do I want to act on them? Sometimes, yes, I do. I'll be honest, perfectly honest with you. So why don't I? That's a good question. I don't act on them because I would never want to put Amelia or my family and friends in a situation where many people had to identify a body or find them, which I know a couple of friends of mine have actually found the loved ones when they committed suicide. I wouldn't want to put them through that. If I was to do something like that, it won't be here. That's for damn sure. But I'm not being morbid, guys, by the way. I just have to tell the reality of it. So yes, I do. I still sometimes wish I weren't here. I've cried myself to sleep sometimes. I don't sleep anyway. Amelia will tell you that. I nap. I tend to nap a lot. So that doesn't really help the situation either. It doesn't help the mindset, you know what I mean? So, yes, I do get the thoughts, but like I said, I don't act on them. I hope I never do. I don't know if things are going to change. I don't know that. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. None of us do. Yeah, I know there's a lot of pauses and silences in this. I am so struggling. I am so struggling. Last question I asked Lee was if there's anything that he would like to say to anybody to camera. I know I've been doing this to camera because it's my turn. Yeah, there is. Guys, you're not alone, okay? You're not alone. Drop the bravado. Drop the bravado. Yeah. You can and are allowed, more than allowed, yeah, to admit when you're broken or you feel defeated, when you're down, when you're low, when you're crying. You're allowed to do all that. You're allowed to go through all them emotions, yeah. Just because we were told in the past it wasn't the manly thing to do, yeah, that's a crock of shit, guys. If by doing this, and these short half-hour things, whatever this is going to be, I don't know. I ain't going to edit anything. I said it to Lee. By doing this, it gets somebody to pick the phone up who's feeling so low, in such a bad place. They said, you know what, yeah, let's do this, I'll do this, I'll ring somebody, I'll text somebody, even if it's texting somebody. Yeah, if you're in such a bad place, guys, yeah, I know God knows with everything else, the financial difficulties and everything else that's happening in the world, family issues and that, yeah, a high percentage of people, not just fellas as well, there's women out there as well, you know, who would not say anything, but this, not being a sexist git when I'm doing it, I was doing this documentary thing for men, because men don't talk. Women have a better apt of being able to talk to people. All kudos to you girls and ladies, because we're shit at it, because we've been told we're not allowed to. So talk to somebody. Yeah, you'll see in the credits, or maybe going across here, oh there you go, look at the monitor going across there, maybe a couple of times through this, phone number for the Samaritans and Andy's Man Club. Now what I'm hoping to do is, I've been given the green light to start a men's mental health club once a month down at the Canine Club in Accrington. Watch this space for that. It's just where people can get together. There's a room upstairs. They've said it's okay to use it. We can have coffee, even just talk about something. The snooker table downstairs. If you want to have a beer after, or even go down and get a snooker or a couple of beers or what have you. I'll be doing that once a month. I'm not sure when it's going to start. I did want to start it in March, end of March, excuse me. But that's not going to happen this month, guys, because everything else I'm doing with the filming. Yeah, I just want you to talk to people. I want you to open up and be able to pick up a phone, send a text, get in contact with your mate, say, mate, can I talk? I'm not in a good place. And I want your mates to turn around and say, yeah. And don't be a knob. Yeah, when somebody's reaching out to you, embrace it, because that's a privilege. A massive, massive privilege, where somebody can feel that they can talk to you and come to you and think, excuse me, that's a car outside. No, I'm not going to cut it out. And it's a massive privilege where you think, they've come to you and said, can we talk? That's an honour. That is a real honour. I am going to end this here, I think. If there's anything else that I want to add to this, you will see a cut, and that's the only cut. There's me coming back on camera and saying, oh, by the way, I did want to say this as well, but I hadn't done. This has been an experience and a half. That guy's beeping's not for me, because I'm here. This has been an experience and a half. Love you all loads. Let's see where we can go with this, yeah? I have initially got down for 3 episodes, well, 3 half-hour bits, but I would like to do 5 or 6. If there's anybody out there, any man out there, any bloke out there that says, you know what, Neil, I'd like to add to the story, please would you film me and get my story, please get in contact with us, either in the comments on YouTube, direct message me on Facebook, or when this goes up to YouTube, and probably share with Facebook as well. You can leave a comment there saying I'd like to get in contact with it, and what I'll do is I will go to the comments, then on Facebook I will PM you off Facebook, and we'll take it from there. This has been an experience, definitely an experience, but this is just the beginning. This is the beginning of a journey that maybe we can help a lot of people by doing this, what we're doing, by opening up to each other, by changing it. If after all this filming's done, it's gone on Facebook and YouTube and whatever, you can find it on YouTube as well. You can find Lee's story on YouTube as well, and every story you'll find on YouTube and Facebook. But going back to what I was saying there, if after this is all done, finished and done, if it stops one person from committing suicide, then it's been worth it. If it gets one person to pick up the phone and ring a friend that may change their life, put them in a better direction, it's worth it. All this, what we're doing, is going to be worth it, because I know for a fact that we are idiots. We don't talk, and we need to. So guys, like I said, I love you loads. Please, please, please pick up the phone and talk to somebody or text somebody. If you're in such a bad place and you're really struggling to deal with things, don't deal with it by yourself. There's people out there and there's help out there for you, okay? Yep, I think that's me waffled on enough. Take care.